One of the things that is uh, sought after in probably anything you do, regardless whether it's theater work or even a kids play, um, Hollywood, fan films, whatever the case may be, is like the lead role. Um, and it's always sought after, glorified, whatnot. Um, it's it's not it's not always what it's cracked up to be. Everyone thinks the glory, the glamour. Um, a lot of the times, it's really frustrating um, to to be in that type of spotlight. Leonard Nimoy, with his frustration of being typecast as the Spock character. In fact, for years he had that mentality of the "I am not Spock." I think he had a book by that same title. And then years later, he kind of retracted it because he kind of fell back in love with the role, and then had the "I Am Spock" book. I think I was the title of that one. But one of the things that people don't really seem to realize is when you take on a role, um, especially a lead role, you dedicate a certain amount of time to playing that character. Um, Minor parts are a lot easier to play because you don't dedicate yourself as much. I'm not saying you don't put yourself, into that role as much. Um, Obviously, if you're a professional, um, you put yourself into anything you do. And I'm not saying professional on like the Hollywood level. I'm just saying if you're a true professional in the sense of whatever you're doing, you throw yourself into what you're doing. But I'm talking about if if you're oh shit, I just got really dizzy. I think I need to go drink some water here in a second. Um, Forgive me. I just woke up a little bit ago and I was like, oh, Mona's at Walmart. Cool. I can go make a video. I was gonna make one last night, but then I decided to do it on something else. So forgive me. Hey, what's up, William Wells? How are we doing, man? So, but when you take a smaller role, of course you put yourself into it, but it's not as time consuming as say like a lead role. When you do like the main character of a series, you take a lot of yourself, and you kind of barricade yourself away from your friends, your family. Um, Months can go by without you actually spending quality time with your family. Um, Especially if you're on like a series where you have to go travel to take time away from your family. Um, that like the people on like say the CW, they have to go to Vancouver to film up there. um they never get to go see their family, or their their family is what they make out of the series. They kind of adapt their life to it. Hi Claude Salen, how are we doing today, man? Thanks for watching, brother. um so that being said, fan films is and this is my experience. And again, it's just my experience, it's not everybody's experience, so you don't have to take my experience as everyone's. When you do a fan film, you are either a fan film that is a series per se. um, it's you dedicate a certain amount of your time, your life, to those characters. um, you memorize scripts. You're doing you know if you're fortunate like I am, you're playing the same character. um but you're constantly going over dialogue. um I've got this this is 6 scripts right here. that I still have yet to finish. Um, and this is on top of the, I think, 16 scripts that we've already got done. Um, and that's just this season of the Constar. Um, and that shows you like how much we go through. Uh, just going through characters, character development, um, making sure things are on point. Um, and when you're an actor and you're doing those lines, making the character feel real, living in that world, it can take its toll. And it's tiring. It's frustrating, um, to a certain degree. Because you're on top of doing a good performance for, um, the producers, the directors, whatever the script may require. It's very easy to lose yourself, because with warp cores and warp core breaches and bridge protocols and whatever else the script requires, and then the emotional content of whatever, if the episode is about you, or whatever the content is that could require you to branch out and be emotional. You are in that scene. For instance, a few people have asked me, what it's like to work with, say, Java. um, and if my wife has a problem with Java, because Java plays my on-screen wife, Emily. And my response is always, I always kind of laugh, because I'm like, Java is not my wife. You know, Java and I are good friends. We're not, we're not, Java has a wonderful husband, wonderful family life. I have a family life, wonderful family life. We're both very happy with our separate family lives. We're not at all even closely romantic. And it's funny because our my wife and her, they get along famously. In fact, the last time we were down there to shoot, Yava came up to our hotel room and was like, I came to see Mona, not you. Go. So I went and got the girls breakfast. you know um and but it's one of those things where when you're working on uh, scripts constantly and you're working on these things, it's easy to lose yourself and not see the difference between the character and yourself. Um, but uh, especially when, yeah, like Full Suffering says, Menard is at least four four different characters, and that is very true. And that goes to my point. Um, when I'm playing Menard and he's with Emily, um, in that moment, if he's talking to her and they're sharing like a tender moment, he is very much in love with Emily. And as an actor, I bring that love that I have. The inspiration I have is my love for Mona. And when it goes to the character, it just comes out for to Emily, the character. It's not Vance talking to Yava, it's Eric talking to Emily. um and that comes through in the performance. um and that becomes, it's very satisfying because that's what comes across as real. But as soon as the camera cuts off, you shut that part off, because that's the pretend part. um and I think that's part of the childhood that you take from playing pretend into adulthood. um but a lot of the times on set, you're doing that, at least for me, because my series is basically, uh it's it's almost ongoing, so it's constantly having to switch between reality and playing pretend, remembering, okay, I'm Eric here, I'm not Vance. Okay, I got to switch to do this. And it's more complicated, I think, for me in a lot of regards, because I do take a lot of inspiration from my real life. um Sean, remember, for prime example of what's called an acting parallel. Right, right. No, that's exactly it. Um, but that's one of those things where, you know, when people get those lead roles, and then they want to walk away from those things. Fans usually can't fathom, why would you want to walk away from something that's so, satisfying? And they very seldom will see the other side of the coin. um, it's those aspects of acting where you do have to lose yourself to the plain pretend. um, and sometimes it's a struggle to kind of find your way back to, okay, where's reality? Or the just pure exhaustion of having to write so many things. As fun as it is, to do those things, sometimes it is just a struggle to maintain. Okay, we have to keep this going, especially, like take uh, a series like Smallville that lasted 10 years. Yes, it could have probably kept on going, but to those actors who stayed the whole time, goddamn, 10 years, that's a long time. Or like Arrow, they lasted, I think, 8 years, it was, or 8.5, 7.5, something like that. They went long time. you know um that's just a long time to be doing something. you know um so to answer the in private questions that I've gotten from quite a few people, um the fact that I'm a lead in the Constar, uh the the other side of what you guys, don't see. It is a lot of fun to do these things. But it does get exhausting. And the fact that I do write the scripts, I do produce. uh, I'm a lot of the times I'm directing. A lot of the times, I try to designate to other people what I can. But it does get tiring. And I've been doing this for 7 years now. And by the time I'm done doing all of these, it'll be 8 years. That's a long time to be doing something. So as as a lead in a series, um, it's time to be done. And it's not, I know some people said, no, we got to keep him, we got to keep this going, but it will be time to be done. So that's, I wanted to kind of explain somewhat of my reasons on, why after next season of the Constar, why I'll be walking away from doing this. Um, and kind of give that explanation for, just in general, why it's tiring for, um, you know a lead in a show, um, and why sometimes they choose to walk away. It's not because they don't love the projects, because obviously after I wouldn't have done 100 films. And that's the thing that I love about my films is, like, you don't ever have to worry about, doing, $100,000 fan film with Vance. For me, it's like, here's $5 and a Little Caesars pizza. Go make your film. You're gonna get a couple of films with that. It's easy filmmaking. But it's one of those things where, you know it's, I think we've set up enough other characters, um that they can jump off and go do their franchises. um I think we've created our own little universe inside the Trek universe. My goal in the beginning was to, one, actually be known for something, which I feel like I've done that. My other goal was to help other people uh, accomplish their dreams of Trek films, which, again, I think we've done that. Um, and my dreams was to just tell stories no one's ever told, and to do things that no one's ever done. I think we've accomplished that. Like every checklist I've had, I think we've done. Um, so I kind of wanted to address the whole issue of, this is the other perspective. And it doesn't mean I don't love the projects, because I do. It's just, you know, as a lead, this is the fatigue that can set in after so long. So Sean says, and sometimes you just like playing some characters over others. I played multiple murderers on stage, and I've hated playing them because I have to tap into that part of me that drains me. No, and that's exactly it. Um, that's exactly it. Like, as much as I love playing the Phantom, and I think that's probably my favorite version of Menard. It's it taps into that darkness that I have that I don't like tapping into. Um, it's hold on just a second. Okay, sorry, Mona messaged me. I just wanted to see what she wanted. She's going to Sonic, so I'm getting a banana shake. I'm like, yes. um, so it taps into a lot that I I had a pretty messed up childhood, in some regards, um, and I'd have to tap into that to play the Phantom, and I it's not healthy to keep playing that over and over and over and over. you know it messes with you, man. Like, that's why I'm so happy on set, or that's why I'm so jovial in real life most of the time, because that's why I throw the word fuck around too many times. Because I'm like, let's get around, let's joke, because you have to, because I don't walk around with a knife. I'm not stabbing people. I don't tilt my head 15 million ways and try to bore holes with you through my with my eyes. Um, that's to me, that it gets very tiring to play a character like that. That's why after I mean, hell, I've played, I think, 5 or 6 different versions of my character at this point. And one of them I got executed. The nausea version of Menard. And that right there, I didn't shoot anything for like 2 weeks after that scene. I was like, nope. I mean, I needed it for that scene. But again, that's very draining, and so you feel me. I see that. William Wells says, keep it going until you have white hairs. I've already got white hairs. I mean, I know you can't see it from where you're at, but if we were in real life, you'd see the white hairs in my beard, man. Like, it's there, dude. Like, I feel like by the time I'm done doing this, it's gonna be that, like, I'm not gonna have to put the baby powder in my beard to play, the Picard era Menard. It's just gonna be there. Like, I'm gonna be like, all right, let's show up, let's go. you know. But no, like, that's, like I said, I wanted to address, because a few of you guys have messaged me and asked, why exactly I'm leaving, and if we can keep this going, and what do we got to do, and just the other aspect of why I'm leaving. As much fun as I'm having, and we'll continue to have, because we've got a great story arc coming next season. It's just, I it's tiring, and I'm sure at some point Royce will probably want to do fan films of his own. Fingers crossed. And Dad can only hope. If I raised him right, so that's something else that I'm prepared for if he chooses to. If not, it's fine too. I don't. That doesn't bother me. But to be in full dad mode, it's I want to really be there for him, more, and to be there more as a dad, not a dad slash filmmaker. It's something that my dad really was not there for me as growing up. Um, we patched things up before he passed away, and I don't want to make those same mistakes. I really want to be there for Royce. Um, now he's got a little bit of preschool and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I can kind of get away with doing some things filming, which is why you'll see that next season. I can get away with shooting some things overnight on the weekend. When both him and Mona are sleeping. Um, but I just don't know what realistically I can do to keep doing these things. Um, and then, like I said, the pure exhaustion of maintaining a lead role, even a side role. I feel like I've done everything I came and set out to do. So, like I said, those are um, that's kind of the cost of being lead role. Is at some point you have to look at it and go, when is enough? When am I done with this? And that's kind of where I'm at. You know, I've had Frank Parker by my side for 6 months now, 6, 7 months now, and he's been a joy to work with. Um, run ideas off of, bounce ideas off of. I've had good people like Greg Mitchell, my editor, Trainar. Um, those people have, you know, they keep this thing afloat more than I do. You know, any asshat can write a script. Any guy can shoot, but these guys keep me motivated, keep me going. Um, so that's and honestly, those people are the reason why we're going to get another season. Because if it was up to me, I'd leave it at the end of this season with the film unsteady and call it good. But those people are the reason why you're going to get another season. And yeah. So that being said, those are just my thoughts for the day. Oh, and if you guys like the shirt, Constar Chronicles, we do have a store. Um, I didn't put the description in the link. I'm not going to. I've put it up in enough links, so it's easy to find. I think if you look at the video from yesterday, um, I had it in that. Um, I don't know. Look around, you'll find it, I'm sure. If not, look in tomorrow's Pizza Roll Diaries. It'll be in that description. I'm not looking to make money off the shirts or nothing, but the Constar Chronicles shirt, kind of dig this one. That's kind of cool. But we got quite a few shirts up there. And I think Frank said he's going to put the other. I think I got another 6 or another 8 logos coming up. So check them out if you like them. Cool. We're not making any profit off of them, so you're getting the best discount possible. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. You guys could have been anywhere. You chose to be here, so I appreciate that. With that being said, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking on, guys.